Hi, it's Kane Hodder, Jason from Friday the 13th. You're watching Slash and Cast. Keep watching, or I'll kill you and your whole family.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Slashcast. My name is Riley. That is Nick. Obviously, things are a little bit different here. This is kind of the live stream table talks format. I get that. We obviously have been working on a lot of stuff, so a lot of our shit has been on the go, and a lot of it's still packed up. So to get it all set up down here, just to repack it and go back to work again, seems unnecessary. I hope this is okay. I mean, I imagine a lot of you guys don't even watch, right? I imagine a lot of you guys are just listening. Mm-hmm. So I think, I hope you can handle it. I hope it'll be okay. We're probably back to normal next episode, though, but it's good to be back. It feels like it's been a hot minute. I mean, I don't remember the last time we just sat down and talked horror news. Yeah. We talked a lot of table talks. We just haven't done much horror news. Yeah. But it's an exciting day, though. There's a lot of stuff going on. Before we dive into our topics, though, I do have something I really want to shout out. This is not a paid sponsorship. This is just something I'm really intrigued with, and I feel like we should talk about. Slashiker is a horror-themed miniature board game based on 1980s slasher films. Obviously, I feel like people like you, if you're watching, would probably get a kick out of that. It's 1 to 4 players, and you play as teenagers and complete tasks like skinny dipping or beer run to collect resistance tokens, find useful items to help you survive, and formulate a plan to stop the killer once and for all. Or you can play as, get this, Kane Vorhard. I wonder where they got that name from, huh? The axe-wielding slasher, and kill them all one by one. Now, it's currently on Kickstarter. They have raised enough to push the game, but they still have some stretch goals they want to hit, which is why I want to make sure that you guys know about it. If you're interested, definitely go check it out. It ends on February 15th, so you don't have much time, but the link is in the description to that. Also, in terms of other announcements for us, make sure you go follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, if you want to be to Reddit. Also, new merch link down there, too. Everything, and also, we did officially launch a Patreon. I don't think we actually have announced that yet on Slash and Cast. We did launch a Patreon, and that ultimately is keeping the channel going. Being a horror YouTuber is tough, and YouTube doesn't like it very much. Yeah. So Patreon is huge for horror content creators, and that's exactly why we decided to launch one. So if you want to help us out further, keep the show going, and you just live, feel free to go check out our Patreon. We've got some cool awards coming up, including on February 14th, we're doing a double feature movie night stream for just sponsors and patrons, which is going to show Happy Death Day and My Bloody Valentine. That'll be a fun time. But we also got some fun intermission stuff, as always. You know how it is. Okay, but with that, let's dive into our topics of the day. Of course, starting with Friday the 13th, the game. It's been a while since we talked about it on the show, and where we've had to dive in and talk about a patch. Now, this is a different patch. Lately, usually patches are just minor bug fixes. Also, Nick is sick, so he might be coughing a little bit during the show. It's been a while since we've had a patch that truly makes a difference in a way that's actually going to affect how you play the game. Yep. And this patch specifically targets Jason and his rage mode. So, in this one, if Jason gets rage, he's pretty much invincible. The only way you can stun him is with a shotgun, a trap, or with the sweater, and that's it. There was a bug going around for a while where you could not hit him to his knees if you try to kill him. That's been fixed. That was hot fixed the day after the patch, which was nice. Shout out to Black Tower being able to speedy do that hot fix. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people are really upset about it. They say Jason's OP. Jason was already OP. Things like that. It's impossible to survive as a counselor now. Jason's too easy. Things like that. And the one I can hear and understand is it might be too easy to play as Jason if you're good. If you were already an experienced Jason player, an above average player, and now you're jumping into that Jason role, I mean, you're kind of unstoppable. But you kind of already were before. Maybe it's not as fun then. But as a counselor player, and especially if you're an experienced one, which I like to think that I am, if you're an experienced counselor player, I think it's a tremendous patch. I think that challenge, Jason actually being scary again, is something I really enjoy.
Yeah, definitely. It's truer to the film franchise, which You know, a lot of people are saying, who cares about the film franchise? But ultimately, that's what the game is based out of. And, you know, what a lot of the passion at Gunn and Ilphonic when it started, you know, is and still is.
Yeah. No, I agree. I feel like Jason should be OP. You don't want to be too OP. You want to have some sort of chance. And I think you still have that as a counselor. You know, until he gets rage, it's still fair play, dude. Right. You're still... I mean, we had no problem killing him still. Before, like, we had no problem killing him when you could not kill him during rage. Right. You know, we still got... I think I got 8 Jason kills during that stream. Mm-hmm. It's just... It's not that bad. And if you're trying to avoid him being raged, just don't hit him as much, you know? Avoid hitting him. That's how it should be. You should only have to hit him if you really need to. And the more you do that, the less his rage is building. Right. Yeah, so, like, I really think now it's more strategy. You have to be smart with your hits. You can't just go up with a Chad and beat the shit out of him. And some people don't like that. Some people will play the game to be a troll. But I hear that. I hear that argument, but that's not what the game's about. Right. It's about running for your life from a killer, and you're supposed to die a lot. It's okay to die in the game. I think people kind of forgot that. Like, it's okay. It's okay to die in the game. You're supposed to. It's fun. It's fun dying. So I think the patch is pretty effective. And also the new swinging mechanic where he can hit multiple counselors in one swing, I think it should be that way too. If you got 4 or 5 people, you know, teaming up on you, I think you should be able to go home and swing it. And like I said, everyone... I got a lot of comments saying, like, well, you're just a shitty Jason player, and that's why you like the patch so much. Again, I don't give a shit how good I am at Jason. I don't fucking play Jason. Right. Like, that's not my thing. I do every once in a while, mainly for gameplay videos, but I don't do it because I'm so good at it and I want to be dominant. Like, I do it for fun. My main thing is playing counselor. Right. So, when I'm talking about this patch, I'm talking about it from a counselor player's perspective, and the challenge was needed. It was too easy.
Yeah, you know, we've only played, you know, trying to kill Jason. I definitely want to do a stream or whenever we play and try to escape and see how, you know, picking your battles with Jason, you know, you could go up and hit him, or you could, you know, try to dodge and weave and run away. Hopefully he goes for someone else and try to escape, because that's the point of a counselor. Yeah. The directions of the game says try to escape. It doesn't say grab the nearest weapon and go gangbang Jason.
Yeah, yeah. That's like I said. That's kind of our playstyle. We're known for killing Jason, but I still think that's easier than escaping. So I think escaping is still a fun thing, and I think that should be your goal. Yeah. I just don't. I don't think there's really a bad thing in the patch. The only thing I would change in terms of this rage thing, because I think once he has rage, he should be pretty fucking unstoppable. I mean, maybe the rage takes a little bit longer to get. Maybe that would be more fair.
I could see that. Yeah.
And I think if you are down to a final girl, it's 1v1, you and Jason. I think you should have at least one other way to fight back, maybe. Whether that's an axe can now stun him, or a baseball bat can now stun him. Just one more thing for a final girl to fight back with. Because we've seen it in the films. Final girls usually stick it out for a long run with Jason, and they end up coming out on top. So a final girl being able to fight back properly makes more sense.
That would just be so tough.
Yeah, it would be. Coding-wise, I mean, even this patch right now, coding-wise, it's a bit of a pain in the ass.
Right. Also, I've seen a lot of comments just saying, "Oh, give the shotgun more than one shell." You know, just my opinion. I don't think that the game is built for the shotgun to have more than one shell.
Yeah, I wouldn't really mind if it had 2 shots, like a real double barrel.
I just don't know if it can.
I mean, you're only getting 2 shotguns a game, you know?
Yeah. Maybe 3.
2, maybe 3. Usually 2. When you find one, and Tommy usually comes back with 1. I don't think that would be all that bad if you got 2 shells, like a regular double barrel. But I don't.
But again, we don't even know if that's even possible with the way that the game was made.
Right. One of the things I've noticed from playing Counselor again and trying to escape off stream is that bear traps have become like fucking essential. Like when he gets rage, you need to set bear traps everywhere. Yeah. And that's cool, dude, because usually, dude, honest to God, how many times have you seen bear traps for the sole purpose of trolling your teammates and not for hurting Jason? Like, now, they're actually important. And if you come down, if you are the last person, I mean, carry a bear trap with you. Mm-hmm. Go into a house, set the bear trap as fast as you can, and hopes before he rages in through it, and then you got an advantage to go to the next place. Again, it's just more strategic now. You actually have to think, and you can't just, stupidly run at Jason and hit him with the face of the baseball bat.
Right.
But the only thing, even honest to God, even being stunned in rage, I don't really care about. My big thing before this patch was if you rage through a door, you shouldn't be able to get smacked in the face every goddamn time. How many? Raise your damn hand if you've seen it before. I know I've done it a million times, Tommy Jarvis. Where I'm Tommy, I got a baseball bat, and Jason rages through the door, smack him, move on to the next one. Rages through the door, smack him, do it again. Over and over, you can keep a Jason running forever. I mean, I don't know how many times I've done that. So I always thought that was unfair. I always kind of felt like a dick doing that. I think if Jason rages through a door, he should have some sort of invincible window for a second. You know, even you could literally just do that.
And he does.
Yeah. Well, now he does straight up. But like, even if it wasn't just all rage,
right?
It was just when he went through doors. That would be enough for me. That would be enough to make it more challenging. I think that's like the worst part of having rage, is because you don't even want to burst through doors because you're just going to get in the face. So mainly, most Jasons are just going to combat stance through it, and they're wasting time. And I don't know, that to me, you could literally change the whole patch to literally just that.
Yeah.
Because I don't mind it all rage, no stun, but I think door breaking, going through doors, and not being stunned is the really key part of that rage.
Yeah, and as we said, this is coming from Counselor Mains.
Yeah.
If you know us at all and have been to one stream, you know we don't play Jason.
Right.
We play Counselor, and as Counselor Mains, we're excited, and also as Friday the 13th fans, we're excited to not see Jason get his ass whooped all game long. It's
just more exciting now. It really is. Like, we went on a long run of not really streaming the game not because we don't love it, but simply because it just got old. It's the same thing every time.
Yeah.
You're killing the same, what feels like a newbie Jason every time. And now it's more exciting. You actually have to work for it, and including if you fail a Jason kill, it still remains challenging.
Yep.
And that's more fun to me. I think that's how any game should be. Competitive nature is what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
And I love it. So I'm down for the patch. Some minor adjustments I think need to come along, but I think Black Tower and Gun are on the right path of it. I think this is the closest we've been to proper balancing in a long time. Since like the beginning of the game. Like that's the last time I remember, in the first like 3 months, that's the last time I remember Jason being scary.
Mm-hmm.
So to have that back is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's know your thoughts. You know, I know some people hate it. My recommendation is, one, if you haven't tried it yet, try it. Like, really, just explore it a little bit. On paper, it seems worse than it is. So try it out, and, you know, let us know.
Yeah, if you hate it, explain why. Don't just say this patch sucks. Explain why, so we can get a feel of what you're seeing.
Yeah.
Because our opinion is different than yours.
Yeah, it's a discussion, man. It's all discussion based. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Okay, with that, let's move on to our next topic of the day. There's some shit going down in the world of Lee Linnell. Okay, Blumhouse is officially reviving the Universal monsters, starting first with the Invisible Man, which in itself, that announcement alone is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, like, that's insane that Universal Monsters coming back. The fact that it's in Blum's hand, who just did Halloween, and Blum is known for taking in the horror reigns. They got Happy Death Day 2U coming out. I mean, that alone is amazing. I'm excited to see where they go with it, because I think they're gonna be able to find a way to feel old school with it in a meta world. You know, I think they can pull that off.
Yeah.
So that's tricky, though. That's tricky. We used to say all the time, like, maybe Universal Monsters you shouldn't touch because it's so hard. There's such a very specific feel with those movies,
right?
And it's tough to capture. You know, 90 years after the originals.
Right, and you know what Universal has been trying to do is make them action movies, and that's not what they are. They're monster horror movies.
Right.
At the end of the day.
Yep. And that seems like what we're going back to.
Yes.
First of all, Lee Linnell is who is, you know, the co-creator of both Saw and the Insidious franchises, so not a bad resume.
Right.
He was also the director of last year's excellent film Upgrade. If you haven't seen it, you should. It was actually tremendous. As well, he directed Blumhouse's Insidious Chapter 3, which isn't terrible. All right, you can only do so much with the Insidious franchise. Can't believe it's still going on.
Yeah.
Now, Peter Kramer, Universal's president of production, says, quote, "Throughout cinematic history, Universal's classic monsters have been reinvented through the prism of each new filmmaker who brought these characters to life. We are excited to take a more individualized approach for their return to screen, shepherded by characters who have stories they are passionate to tell with them," end quote. I'm excited.
You know, yeah, like we've said in the past, you know, don't touch those monster movies. But when it came out that Blumhouse was given the reins, like, there's hope. There's hope that
Yeah,
they
dude.
will do justice to what the Universal monsters are.
The thing with Blum, I mean, Universal's one thing. They try to a degree, but a lot of it comes back to just a quick buck. Yeah. But Blum has shown true passion. Like, they actually fucking care. And that's why I was comfortable seeing Blum take on Halloween. I thought that was great.
Yep.
Like, you know the review on Halloween. I think Blum just kind of gets it. They actually just love horror films, and if you're gonna put someone with Universal monsters, I'm glad it's Blum, and I'm glad it's Lee Winnell. Lee Winnell, he hasn't gotten to shine too much as a director. Upgrade, of course, I mean, great, but that's like one of his first bigger hits.
Yep.
He's an incredible writer. I mean, he's written so much. He's amazing. But let's continue with Lee Winnell. Let's talk about it a little bit more. So Lee Winnell is also going to be writing the remake for John Carpenter's Escape from New York for Fox. It's being remade.
Okay.
Yeah, another one that fits a very specific era. Escape from New York is about as 80s as it could possibly be. But if they think they can do it, if Lee Winnell thinks he can do it, I'll buy in. I won't judge it until I see it. I think that's the least I can do.
Yeah.
All right. But THR reports, quote, sources say that while there is no deal with him to direct, the door is open for that possibility. Winnell is kickstarting Escape with a new vision for the project that sources will retain elements of the original but bring new ideas to the table. One of Winnell's goals is to avoid the bloated tentpole remake path that afflicted the reboots of the other 1980s era movies, such as RoboCop and Total Recall. You all right, man? You dying over there?
I'm all right. I held it until the end of the quote.
Yeah, it's exactly right. The 80s remakes tend to just be kind of wrong. Like RoboCop, I fucking hate RoboCop, the remake. Thought it was terrible. Total Recall, not as much, but still bad.
Right.
Yeah, I thought they're losing the vibes that made this movie special. And you know, you're gonna rely on nostalgia a lot with those types of movies.
Yeah.
And when that entire feeling is gone, you just kind of, you got to find a balance, because you don't want it to be a nostalgia fest. Like, I think Halloween did it pretty well. It was pretty meta, but we have nostalgia. Like, there's very specific shots that remind us of the original. I think you still got some of that nostalgia, and I'm hoping they do that well here too.
Right. There's only one name though that we need to make sure is on board with this Escape from New York.
As in John?
That's right.
To score it?
Maybe.
Produce it?
Oh, yeah.
Executive produce would make sense from Carpenter.
And he is.
Exactly.
Yeah. So again, sort of like Halloween, but with John on board, it can't be terrible, right?
Is he executive producer or producer?
Executive.
I wish he was the producer, but
I imagine he has more input than a typical executive producer would. Especially, if you were directing that film, wouldn't you want?
Yeah, like John. Let me hear your thoughts.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
When John executive produces something, he doesn't really do it just for a paycheck. He did that shit back in the 80s, and he regrets it. So like today, seeing that he's executive producing means it kind of has it has his approval.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing that happened with Halloween. So
yeah,
that makes it seem like it's worth it. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Either way, congratulations, Lee Winnell, dude. You're fucking killing it right now.
Yeah, you have a hell of a next couple of years at it.
Yeah, good luck, brother. Hope it goes well. All right, let's move on to our next topic of the day. Us trailer number 2 officially just dropped. Now, this was only in the U.S., and it runs roughly a minute long, but it does have some new footage, and don't worry, it still doesn't spoil much of anything, which is nice. I would love to show it here, but I can't, because they're dicks. They claim everything. They're not dicks. They have the right to do that. So I can't show it to you, otherwise it'll be down, but you should definitely go check it out pretty quick. But again, it just shows new footage, and I still don't know what's going on.
Right.
Which is not a bad thing. By the way, when we did a reaction for the first Us trailer, everyone was kind of mad that I didn't know what was going on. I like as if I was thinking it was a bad thing. It's not. I'm glad I don't know what's going on. It has me intrigued. It has me. It's shown me just enough to be intrigued, but so little that I have no clue what's going on.
Right. It's still just so creepy.
Yeah,
still
God
so
damn.
creepy.
It's very creepy. Us is gonna be a bit of an oddball film.
Right, and Jordan Peele said before, while Get Out was more of a thrillery type of movie, he did say that Us was a quote full-blown horror movie.
Right. So that should say something.
Right.
If Get Out is just a thriller for old Peele, then Us is gonna Us is probably gonna scare people. I'm excited. Dude, the guy, he's one thing as a director, but I think he's an incredible writer, and I'm excited to see what else he can do in this genre. So, Us arrives in theaters on March 22nd. Let us know if you're gonna go see it. All right, with that, let's move on to our next topic of the day: Twilight Zone reboot. Back to the old boy here. Jordan Peele's reboot of the Twilight Zone for CBS All Access will premiere the first 2 episodes on April 1st. That's not an April Fool's joke.
That's real.
That's real. All right. That Monday release will see 2 new episodes with successive installments arriving weekly on Thursdays.
Very interesting.
Yeah. It's a bit of a weird thing. So, starting off Monday, April 1st, 2 episodes will be available, and then after that,
Thursdays.
Every Thursday. Okay. Now this is only on CBS All Access, so I recommend it. Maybe give her an old trial run. I think you can do a 1-week trial. It seems worth it though. CBS All Access doesn't. It seems like they're going to start taking advantage of it more.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's really a bad thing.
Yeah, I definitely gonna test it out. See what the Twilight Zone what it looks like. If it's really good, then we're gonna have to pay for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make it. I'm gonna have to make it happen.
Yeah.
This is kind of the road that TV's going. Just taking advantage of streaming services and saving money while making more money. And yeah. So. Let us know if you have CBS. If you do have CBS All Access, let us know, because is it worth it at this second without Twilight Zone?
Right.
The Super Bowl's on it. That's a big deal.
Yeah. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
It's over now. It's over now, but the Super Bowl was on it.
Yeah.
So that means something, right? All right, let's move on to our next topic of the day. A little bit of Child's Play. Let's start first with Don Mancini's. Don Mancini's Child's Play TV series is now confirmed to be showing on Sci-Fi. Everyone's making a big deal out about this, which I don't get, because we knew. Did we have something? Did we know something you guys didn't know?
I could have swore there were articles before that it was confirmed for Sci-Fi, but I guess that was just a 99% confirmed rather than 100.
I do. Literally anyone that's ever asked me about it between now and the last 6 months, I've always, Sci-Fi. They'll be on Sci-Fi. So glad I wasn't wrong. But yeah, so this is news. If you didn't know, it's going to be on Sci-Fi. I swear to God, though, I've already heard this before. Same with, Jimmy covered it too. Jimmy Champagne covered it too.
That's right.
So whatever. All right, it's on Sci-Fi. Now TV, we know it's got a lot of different restrictions, but Chucky will indeed be able to drop a couple F-bombs.
Thank God. Probably
1 per episode is what if I were to guess. But it's pretty nice. So you'll be able to do that. They did, quote, Sci-Fi declined to put an executive on the phone to discuss the change in the internal rules, but a spokesperson said that when language, fuck specifically, is deemed important to the style or plot of a show, Sci-Fi and USA now allow it. So any show with fuck airs with the TVMA guideline, denoting that the program is meant for adult viewers.
Maybe we'll see 2 per episode.
Yeah, you might sneak in 2.
You don't want to overdo it, obviously, because then you're just filling.
Yeah, right.
But
I'm super intrigued with this TV series, because how much is the TV series pushing off the films? Are you going to use it to lead to a new film? Are you going to go off of Cult, use what we saw at the end of Cult, which, spoiler alert, I'm giving you a 3-second warning, spoiler alert, it's Kyle at the end. It's Kyle from Child's Play 2. So is Kyle going to be in the TV series? Are we going to expand on that story with Alex Vincent? Or are we going to just make our own story and ignore the films? Because Glenn was talked about too.
Yeah.
Glenda was talked about too. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just really interested in where they're going with Child's Play. I don't know. I'm intrigued. Let us know what your thoughts. Is it TV series your kind of thing for horror? Because they're hit or miss. Especially when you want to adapt a film franchise. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Now for MGM's Child's Play, there is expected to be a trailer attached to The Prodigy. So keep that in mind, which releases this weekend. So if you're interested in Child's Play remake, we'll definitely cover that trailer, just so you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the Child's Play remake from MGM, that trailer is expected to be attached to The Prodigy, which releases next weekend.
This weekend. I hope that this isn't another Happy Death Day to you type of deal where we don't see it for a month.
Yeah.
I would imagine we see it. They need a little bit more press than Happy Death Day did.
Yeah. I don't know, Blum, because it's MGM, so it makes sense to do it. But Blum's kind of weird about trailers. I mean, as we saw with Halloween, where it would screen at a convention, and then like fucking 2 months later, we might see it.
Yeah.
So I imagine MGM will just drop it.
Yeah.
Live. So just kind of keep your eyes peeled for that. But Chucky officially does return to the big screen in the Child's Play remake on June 21st, 2019. It's quite a year for Chucky. Oh. I'm excited for Don Mancini to actually announce a new film.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of... Can we move that direction and just... Let's work past the remake, you know? Okay, let's move on to our next topic of the day, our last topic of the day, but it's a fucking exciting one, all right? The whole 10-year challenge thing has been going around. You may have done it yourself. We didn't. We should have. But then, you know, sometimes you're ashamed. But the official Zombieland account shared what looks to be the very first official poster for the new movie, which accepts the hashtag 10-year challenge and recreates the original movie's poster's artwork. And it's so cool. It's so cool, man. It's so cool to see. First of all, Woody Harrelson has aged tremendously well in the last 10 years. So is Jesse. I don't think he's even aged at all. Emma Stone still looks fantastic. And then see Abigail Breslin. I mean, whew, she has grown.
Yeah, she's
grown up, man. She's not a little girl anymore. It's not the same. There's no innocence anymore. Also, it seems to confirm that the sequel's rumored title, it seems to be officially Zombieland Double Tap.
Yeah, that was been rumored for a while. I don't know why they would tease us with that if it wasn't the official title.
Yeah, they didn't publicly say it.
Right.
At least that I saw, they didn't come out and say, "Hey, it's Zombieland Double Tap," but
right.
They just it's on the fucking poster. I think we kind of put it together that it's Zombieland Double Tap. So yeah, that seems to be where it's going. But again, Emma Stone, Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, and Abigail Breslin are all reprising their roles with Zoe Douche and Yvonne Joyja Rosera Dawson. I suck with names, you know I do. Turtle Tub, don't forget it. But they're as well joining in. Let's have a synopsis a little bit here. In this next installment, through comic mayhem that stretches from the White House and through the Heartland, the zombie slayers must face off against many new kinds of zombies that have evolved since the first movie, as well as some new human survivors, which we just heard up there. But most of all, they have to face the growing pains of their own snarky makeshift family. I'm so excited. It's going to make me cry. I cry easy in movies, and it's going to get me. I'm super excited for it. We kind of ended on a note where, spoiler alert, prepare yourselves. Spoiler alert, we kind of ended on a note where it seemed like, Jesse Eisenberg finally just got the girl. And we were all happy. And they drove off out of the carnival like a family. And I'm super excited to see, starting 10 years later, will there be any sort of flashback? Will there be story that we don't know about that they're going to expand on? Like, these are things I want to know. Is Abigail going to meet somebody? Is she going to find some cute little boy survivor out there? Maybe Woody Harrelson will find his long-lost love? We don't know. I swear to God, if Jesse and Emma aren't together, I'm going to be upset. Don't do that to me. Don't start the movie where they just had like a breakup or something. All right? It's a zombie world. You have limited options.
That's right.
Run with it. Zombieland Double Tap is officially expected to release on October 11th, 2019. That's not that far away.
No.
I mean 8 months. And have they filmed the whole thing?
I doubt it.
You wouldn't think so, right? Well, they got the poster art, so they had to do something. They went into a studio and took some pictures, at least. And that's a step. I'm super excited, though. I fucking love Zombieland. One of my favorite zombie movies ever. Like, up there with, Dawn of the Dead and Shaun of the Dead. So, excited to see them finally expand on it. And they should have done it a long time ago, but 10 years later is better than nothing.
True.
All right. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below on everything we talked about today. But that's going to wrap today's episode of Slashcast. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to our channel for more like this one. Nick, you got a hashtag?
I do. I do have a slash tag.
Oh, a slash tag? Excuse me?
Yeah, a month ago when we said we were going to start it.
Yeah, sorry.
Our slash tag, Double Tap.
Genius. That's what it should be. Slash tag, Double Tap in the comments below. First one, pretty much everyone I see will get the old heart.
Yeah.
Don't cheat. You know those guys that just see people commenting hashtag double tap. I'm like, wait, I need to fit in. There's something going on here.
Yeah.
So they comment themselves. I know I'm saying this at the end of the video, which means if you already did that, you have no idea I'm calling you out, but I am. So don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Long time no see, but it's good to be back. All right. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Editor, roll that out.
Things that are inspirational and things that aren't, and